search is underway for a new manager in Los Angeles after the Dodgers and Don Mattingly parted ways last week. Welcome in, I'm Ryan Walton, joined by Eric Steven to talk about the leading candidates for the vacancy. Eric, there is always a list of guys that are linked to a manager position because of experience, but at this point, would I be right by saying the two leading names for the job are Dave Martinez and Gabe Kapler?
Yeah, those are the two favorites I would imagine right now. I'm sure they'll do a pretty thorough search, but yeah, I don't know. I like both. I know more about Gabe Kapler just from sort of being around him and interacting with him the last year or so from being here. But I mean, obviously, it wasn't on a day-to-day basis or anything. But the one thing I wonder is like just on one hand, you bring in Dave Martinez. I think he would work in a lot of ways as manager, and then you still have Gabe Kapler running your player development. So if you do hire Gabe Kapler as manager, all the good things that he's sort of bringing to player development, you're going to have to replace that. And so it's like a whole different search. Maybe Josh Burns does that role for a year, or maybe they bring in someone else. I don't know, but that would be the only concern, is that what hole are you filling by hiring Gabe Kapler? Maybe it's the plan they had for him all along, and maybe he could thrive in it. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I do think it would be cool to maybe still have Gabe Kapler and Dave Martinez. So I would sort of lean Martinez in that regard, but either one of those guys would probably be fine as manager.
Why not both? I mean, I know Dave Martinez is not going to come as a bench coach when he can be a bench coach for Joe Madden, but why not have Kapler be a bench coach for Martinez?
Yeah, I mean, that could still work as well, especially if that's something that Kapler wants to pursue, and if his long-term goal is to be sort of a on the field, in the dugout, manager, leader, whatever, then certainly go that route with them. That'd be totally fine, but it still runs into the same thing of you have to find someone to fill his role as player development. I think Kapler, to me, his greatest skill, at least that I've seen, is being able to sort of communicate the front. You don't necessarily want a bunch of yes men, but and I'm not saying he's that. I'm just saying he's good at communication and getting the sort of front office's vision and communicating that to the players. So it's definitely worked, I think, or it's working on the minor league side. It's only been a year. These things take time, so he's sort of laying the groundwork on the long-term level, and I think he's sort of the perfect guy to sort of communicate that down through the system. I think he would do the same thing in communicating that to the major league staff. Obviously it's a different dynamic, but a former player, you could still relate. So that's definitely there. But like I said, you just have to find a new guy to be player development if you have him on the major league staff. So maybe that's unfair to Kapler that I want to sort of keep him in the player development role, but I'm also hindering his progress. Maybe if it's something he wanted to do to go on a major league staff, but that's sort of where my head's at in this whole process.